I had no intentions of alarming you, but we have the widest angle lens ever made for the Fuji system. And today we talk about why we're not leaving Fuji, ever. You can't leave the cult and live to tell about it. We'll get you.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Oh good, a truck. Thank you for that. Is that a lens or what? We're on a 7.5mm Sony 2.8, at 2.8 of course. I think I'm in focus right here. I can see the peaking. Everything should be in focus. This is like a 12mm, but with the digital stabe. Hopefully it's working. Hopefully there's not warpy stuff. It's a this mil equivalent. It's a fisheye lens, so it's very warped, and I'm very close to this thing. Touching. So I'm gonna correct it, and the rest of this video will be in a perfectly straight rectilinear lens. So we got it, perfection. And we're on the latest firmware, so let's test the exposure stepping today with the shutter priority. No, stop saying that. We're in aperture priority. Shutter and ISO are auto. So I think it really did. If you lock both the aperture and the shutter, the ISO is now smooth, I think. He was talking to himself, unless he had Bluetooth technology. That's more advanced than I need to know about. So I found that just the ISO changing is now smooth, but is the aperture. That's the scary thing. Looks smooth on screen. What a shot. Oh, the beauty. Look at that, stopping it down to 24 and extending it out a little bit. How's the stabilization? Is it there? We all know it's there. The warpy corners. You can't avoid it, but maybe you can. I think I've noticed something. When I hold the tripod a lot tighter, I don't get as many of those shakes transferring over. So if you really strong arm it in the monkey strength way, you're good to go. So thank you Pergear for sending me this lens. This is actually a Pergear lens. I didn't even know they made equipment until they said, hey, do you want to try our lens? I thought they were just like a company that sold other companies' lenses, but they made their own, and so far from what I've seen, it's pretty sharp. It is fish-like, unfortunately, but we did correct it in our own strange way, and I'm digging it. It's a little heavy for a tiny lens. It's heavy glass, and you can't put a filter on it. That could kill us. That could kill us. So we are not friendly. Links will be down below if you're curious about the lens, but just pay attention to it. See if it's one that you want in your arsenal of lenses. So when it comes to Fuji, obviously we've all been tempted lately with the Canon R5 and R6, and now with the Sony A7S III Thunderhawk camera. Of course we all want them. Do we need them? I've debated this pretty hard because Camera Canada said, like, I can return this camera still for store credit and put it towards whatever camera you want. Like, they're very accommodating. And I just keep thinking, you can't give away a Fuji camera. You don't send back. There's something about it. Even though they're so hard to use, you can't custom mode anything. Once you get it and you lock it in, it treats you well. There's a loud highway. I'm gonna have to make my way across it somehow. Oh, there's sun. Oh, the stars are sun-like. Oh my God. So for those of you gas-having assholes who pounced on that pre-order button like a leopard, just maybe relax a bit. As human beings, we're always trying to evolve whatever we're doing. My diet, for instance, I'm trying to get healthier and healthier. Some people who run, like they start off with a little sprint down the block and then they want to do a marathon one day and then that's not enough and you keep wanting to improve. So cameras, obviously when you have your gear, you're like, what's next? Use it? Who wants to use it? That's not why I bought it. Obviously, if you have like the Sony A7S II, and you're like, oh my God, it's an upgrade in every way. You're Lock Chung, and oh man, B&H, step up and give that man your A7S III. You bought him his A7S II. It's your duty to move up and get it. You know he wants it. Locke was like, oh, they bought me the A7S II. It was a great gift. I really loved it when they did that. This is nice too. It's a lot. They don't have to. Come on. So I understand some people should upgrade. Like, if you can get 240 frames per second now that you didn't have it before, it's like, oh, you could have a lot of fun and your audience could have more fun. But if it's just, what was that? She was like taking a selfie of my vlog. 240 frames per second is so fun though. Actually, let's try a little 120p. I know it's better quality, but it's not as slow. That noticeably higher quality than the 240p? Even if it was, you always want to go for the most extreme. I do, at least. So honestly, this A7S III is a bad example because it's so much better than anything Sony's released up to this point. For YouTubers especially. You got the flippy screen now. Improved IBIS, though we'll get to that. If I had a Sony A7 III, I'd go for this hard. It's like, oh, finally, you fixed every problem I had. But for most of us, we have good enough stuff. When it comes to IBIS, this may be a terrible example today. I don't know how. Usually super wide angle lenses do not perform well with IBIS. So this is a bad example. But Fuji IBIS, you know it's going to be better than the Sony full frame. Come on now. For the most part, full frame IBIS is just not working yet. The Panasonic system's unusable. Canon actually, they're spanking people over there. I wrote down a list of things to compare. If you're thinking of buying either the R5, R6, or Sony A7S III, we'll do the comparisons. List is at home. That's not for today. But IBIS, Canon wins for sure. When it comes to exposure, I find Fuji gets it right, usually. They do a good, now that it's not stepping, right? Then Fuji's the way. I noticed that in the XT3, even though it did step and jump at you, like a leopard, I can't use the leopard twice. I just noticed nothing's ever overexposed. You see the sky. On the Canon EOS R, that's all white. White heavens. Canon wants you to die. When it comes to the colors, I think Fuji still has the edge. I don't know what this new color science is all about. It looked pretty good on the ZV-1, so I can't complain. It looked very similar to Olympus, and I actually prefer Olympus to this. But until I get one in my hands, we won't know for sure whether it can handle the stabilization, these monkey steps, how the autofocus will perform out in the streets. I have some challenging scenarios and it just loses you. I kind of like manual focus. I prefer it. As long as you're here, you're close, it's like, okay, I can see it. It's not hard, it's locked off. You're never out of focus. Whereas even the best autofocus systems, at some point, you're gonna lose focus, look like a dickhead. You're gonna be standing to talk to the camera like this. I know, man. That's the wrong way. You believe that guy? What an idiot. That guy sucks. You suck. So for me, Fuji's pretty magical outside. I really love it out here. The Sony, I think that'd be too heavy. It's a bit too heavy. It's a bit too expensive. If you're gonna look around your corner like, is that lady gonna rob me? Sure, she's eating a sandwich now. Looks peaceful, but what's in the sandwich? Is there shark meat in there? If there is, then that pumps up your aggression levels a bit. Proven by science. I've debated it. If somebody offered me a Sony A7S III right now with the 20mm 1.8 in exchange for this, would I do it? I'm not sure I would. She flustered me. So did she. I'll be honest with you, I'd probably trade it in a heartbeat. It is the better camera, but you never know. You get it out for vlogging and then, oh, the stabilization's much worse. It's unusable. I don't like the colors. The files are too hard to edit. You never know. And it's very heavy. It's like, oh, I can't even bring this thing with me now. For the studio, that's another talk. That thing on a tripod, best autofocus ever. You probably have a good enough camera. You don't need it. I know you see every new release, it looks nice. It's like, oh, that is better than my camera. Do you need to spend thousands of dollars? You could be buying the best quality food you ever had. Imagine the health increase. So minor, but good. I mean, honestly, the Sony A7S III body is like 5,400 Canadian with tax. I could go on a all expense paid vacation somewhere, making the best videos, have the best time of my life. Just, oh, the vlog to Mexico. Oh, will he get robbed? Yes, yes he will. But I won't lose my Sony A7S III because I was smart enough not to buy it. I still lose the Fuji. Oh, that is unfortunate. Hey gents, how y'all doing? I'm actually on my way back to Henry's right now to bring back the Fuji. They finally asked for it. I was like, my contact, I kept messaging him a couple times just to say like, oh, do you want this Fuji back anytime? And he wasn't messaging me back. Apparently they let him go. Oh man, let's just a moment of silence as I continue talking for that man. He worked so hard to get us all the best gear. The brainstorming that man did for us, trying to get us stuff that Henry's, the management wasn't on board with his vision. That guy's a visionary, and you let him go for a fake ass virus? Are you kidding me right now? Was that guy wearing a mask? I swear to God if he was. But that sucks, man. Thank you so much for getting me all that. He got us the S1H for the first test and introduced us to Panasonic, and he was trying so hard, but Henry's wouldn't let him give me anything but like an open box thing. So he's like, oh man, do you not see we have a YouTuber here on the up and coming and he's gonna promote our company. Why aren't you giving him gear? So it makes no sense. That sucks that he got fired. Let go. Hopefully he landed on his feet. My heart's with you, my brother. It sucks because Henry's had to close a bunch of their shop. The whole world had to close a bunch of stuff. It sucks. I'm very grateful that my job hasn't been interrupted. Thank you, universe, for taking care of me. We're good to go. Some things have dropped off in sales, but I'm surviving and I'm very happy with what I'm doing, but poor Henry's. So we're going to Henry's right now to bring back the Fuji XT200 with their little kit lens and the 14mm Tony 2.8, which I sold because I had 2 copies and now I don't. I have neither. But I do believe the Samyang 12mm Tony 2 is superior, so I don't miss it, but it's gone. And the 18mm Tony 2, that one's gonna hurt. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's the best lens for vlogging. It's a little tight, so I do believe the Samyang superiored that one in the dick. Oh, superiored can be a verb. It can be. In fact, let's switch to that lens now. I brought it. So how did this one perform today though? For a vlog, was the warpy shit too unhandleable? Another common verb. Wow. Or is that noun? Oh, I know nothing. Let's just switch to the lens. Here's the lens, by the way. 7.5mm Tony 2. It's a fisheye. Where's the Pergear? There you are on that one. It's a bulbous, so you can't put a filter on that thing. It's pretty weighty. It's all metal. Feels very high quality. So, we'll see how the footage looked today, but could be a fun lens. I like it. All right, we're on Sammy boy. Are we overexposed? We're about to be. We're in the shade now. How's it gonna handle it? Oh boy. Oh, it can only go to 640 ISO in F-Log. I feel like it wants to go lower. Does it? Am I overexposed and we can't get any lower ever? Oh, but the friendly motion blur. Oh, let me do it. And yes, I did remember to change the setting. That's so stupid. In Panasonic, if you have a manual focus lens that doesn't have electronic contacts, as soon as you turn the camera on, they tell you, do you want to switch focal lengths? Whereas Fuji just lets you look like a moron. It's like, whatever, you'll figure it out eventually. Thanks, asshole. I'm in the ghetto now. That was a rough corner. Some guy was like, are you videotaping me? I'm like, no. Do you want it? No, you don't. So how's this performing? Is it better than the fisheye was this whole journey? With the ND filter, is that working? Shade, 1250 ISO. That's not too bad. Is it cooler? Are the colors bullshit now? Oh boy. I think I should just leave. Thanks for watching. Thanks for not buying an affiliate link, A7S III, because I don't have any. Amazon, where's your game at? They're not available on Amazon yet for affiliate link wise? It's bullshit. Still, you can buy a vegetable Canon. Oh, what? Just buy the shirt. Subscribe for more videos. Yeah. Thanks for all the good times, Henrys. I asked the guy in there, the manager, I was like, you have any Sony A7S IIIs in there? There's little test units in the back there. They did not.